China's bloody road to unity. Chiang Kai-shek's war against warlords. 1925 to 1937. What if one man's ambition could unite a shattered empire? Picture this. 1925, just 10 years after the mighty Qing dynasty collapsed. China lies in ruins. No central government. No unified army. Over 40 warlords carved the country into personal kingdoms. Each commands private armies. Each prints their own money. Each collects taxes like medieval lords. Did you know? At this time, more than 1.5 million soldiers roam China. Yet no single leader commands them all. Chaos. Pure chaos. Enter Chiang Kai-shek, the man who will change everything. But what cost? Born in 1887, son of a salt merchant, he trains at Japan's elite military academy. Joins Sun Yat-sen's revolution in 1911. Now at age 37, he's commandant of Whampoa Military Academy, the training ground for revolutionary officers. His reputation? Ruthless, disciplined, ambitious, some say brilliant. Others call him cold-blooded. March 1925, disaster strikes. Sun Yat-sen dies of cancer, the father of the Chinese Republic. The visionary who dreamed of democracy. Gone. His last words haunt the nation. The revolution is not yet complete. China mourns. Millions attend his funeral in Beijing. But behind closed doors, power struggles erupt. Who will lead now? Chiang moves fast, lightning fast. He consolidates control of the Nationalist Party, the Kuomintang, arrests political rivals on fabricated charges, expels Soviet military advisors in a dramatic purge. But here's the clever part. He keeps the Soviet weapons flowing, keeps Moscow's financial support. Pure strategic genius, or ruthless pragmatism. You decide. He forms an alliance that shocks everyone. The first united front with the Chinese Communist Party. Think about it. Nationalists and communists, natural enemies, working together. Why? Because both need each other. Nationalists need communist organization among workers and peasants. Communists need nationalist military power. Together, they build something unstoppable. An army of 700,000 men, better trained, better equipped, ready to crush the warlords. Northern Expedition, July 1926. The march that will reshape China. Chiang launches the offensive. His National Revolutionary Army sweeps northward like an unstoppable tide. Wuhan falls first, then Nanchang. City after city capitulates. Did you know? Many warlord troops simply switch sides. They see which way the wind blows. Desert their old masters. Join the winning team. Smart move. Shanghai, China's greatest city, falls after fierce street fighting. 300,000 workers stage uprisings. Communist organizers mobilize the masses. Hand Chiang the city on a silver platter. He takes it, but he's already planning betrayal. Nanjing captured next. The old Ming dynasty capital. Ancient walls. Imperial palaces. Now Chiang's prize. Wu Peifu, the philosopher general, once China's most powerful warlord, flees in disgrace. His armies melt away like spring snow. But one warlord still resists. Zhang Zuolin, the old marshal, rules Manchuria like a feudal lord, controls railways, mines, opium trade. Even Japan fears him. Or so it seems. June 1928, Zhang boards a train heading north to Mukden. Japanese officers watch. They've decided he's no longer useful. Too independent. Too unpredictable. An explosive device planted under the railway tracks detonates. The blast tears through Zhang's carriage. He dies hours later, assassinated by the very nation he thought was his ally. His son, 27-year-old Zhang Xueliang, the young marshal, inherits the throne, but he's different, educated, modern thinking, anti-opium despite his father's trade. He makes a fateful choice, pledges loyalty to Chiang Kai-shek, raises the nationalist flag over Manchuria. Beijing falls without a shot. The ancient capital, home of emperors for centuries. Surrenders. Chiang's troops march through the Forbidden City. Victory. China is united at last. Or is it Central Plains War? 1929, the alliance crumbles. Victory breeds new problems. Chiang now commands over 1.5 million troops, but he can't afford them, can't trust them. Many are ex-warlord armies, loyal to old commanders. Not to him. He proposes radical downsizing. Cut the army to 715,000. Organize into 65 standardized divisions. Sounds reasonable. His generals don't think so. They see betrayal. Feng Yuxiang, the Christian general. Yan Shishan, the model governor. Li Zongren, all former warlords who helped Chiang. Now they rebel, form a coalition against him. 1 million soldiers mobilize for civil war. Yes, 1 million. Think about that scale. Bigger than many international wars. Massive battles rage across central China. Artillery thunders. Machine guns rattle. Casualties mount into hundreds of thousands. The economy collapses under military spending. Peasants starve while armies feast. Sound familiar? War always hurts civilians most. Chiang nearly loses. His forces pushed back repeatedly. Then, salvation arrives. Young Marshal Zhang Xiuliang sends his Manchurian army south. Tips the balance. Chiang wins, but at horrific cost. The economy is wrecked. Trust is shattered. Unity, only on paper. Nanjing decade, 1928 to 1937. Chiang's brief golden age. He establishes one-party rule in Nanjing. The old Ming capital becomes China's new heart. New Life movement launches, a bizarre blend of Confucian morality and modern discipline. Citizens must dress properly, maintain hygiene, show patriotism, even rules about how to button your shirt. Sounds absurd, but millions embrace it, craving order after decades of chaos. Infrastructure booms. Roads cut through mountains. Railways link provinces. Factories spring up. Universities expand. Foreign investment pours in. Shanghai transforms into Asia's Paris. Jazz clubs. Art Deco skyscrapers. Cinema. Fashion. Women gain unprecedented rights. Can own property. Seek divorce. Enter universities. Progress. Real progress. But look deeper. 85% of Chinese are peasants. Rural. Poor. Starving. They see no benefit from urban prosperity. Landlords squeeze them for rent. Officials demand taxes, sometimes collected 30 years in advance. Did you know that? Peasants tax for their grandchildren's lifetimes. Brutal. Communist organizers move through villages, whisper promises, land reform, equality, justice. They establish Soviet zones, self-governing regions in remote mountains. Jiangxi, Hunan, Fujian, small communist states within China. Growing, spreading, threatening. Then catastrophe strikes. 1931, the Yangtze River floods. Worst natural disaster in human history. Water sweeps away entire cities. 4 million people drown or starve in the aftermath. 4 million. Let that sink in. Modern estimates suggest even higher. Ancient dikes crumble. Farmland vanishes underwater. Corpses float downstream for weeks. Refugees clog roads. Cholera spreads. Chiang's government responds. But too slowly, too ineffectively. His golden age tarnishes. Japan's shadow looms. While China bleeds internally, external enemies sharpen their knives. Imperial Japan eyes the north. Manchuria, rich in resources Japan desperately needs. Coal, iron, soybeans, oil shale. The perfect target. September 18th, 1931. Mukden incident. Japanese stage a false flag operation. Plant explosives on their own railway line. Detonate them. Blame Chinese saboteurs. Defending Japanese interests, they claim. The Guangdong army launches a full invasion. In weeks, not months. Manchuria falls. Japanese casualties? Minimal. Chinese resistance. Chaotic. Young Marshal Zhang's forces retreat without major battles. International outrage. Meaningless. Japan creates Manchuria, a puppet state. They crown Puyi, the last Qing emperor. Remember him? Abdicated at age 6 in 1912. Now 26 years old. A puppet emperor for a puppet nation. He parades in uniforms, gives speeches, controls nothing. Japan pulls all strings. Chiang Kai-shek's response shocks the nation. He does nothing, refuses to fight Japan. His famous quote, "The Japanese are a disease of the skin. The communists are a disease of the heart. Internal enemies first," he argues. Unite China, then face external threats. Logical? Perhaps. Popular? Absolutely not. Students protest. Intellectuals rage. But Chiang stands firm. His priority is clear: destroy the communists. Encirclement campaigns. 1930 to 1934. Chiang's War on the Reds. 5 massive campaigns, each larger than the last. Chiang mobilizes hundreds of thousands of troops, surrounds communist bases, tightens the noose. First campaign, 1930, fails. Red Army uses guerrilla tactics, ambushes, traps, retreats. Chiang's forces bleed in the mountains. Second campaign, 1931, fails again. Third campaign, 1931, same result. Mao Zedong's strategy works. The enemy advances, we retreat. The enemy camps, we harass. The enemy tires, we attack. Classic guerrilla doctrine. But the campaigns grow more sophisticated. Chiang hires German military advisors, builds blockhouse networks, cuts communist supply lines, starve them out. Civilians caught in the middle suffer worst. Both sides commit atrocities. Suspected communist sympathizers executed. Villages burned. Mass graves fill with bodies. Estimates: 500,000 dead, maybe more. Civil war at its most brutal. Fifth campaign, 1933 to 1934, finally succeeds. Blockhouses everywhere. Supply lines severed. Starvation sets in. The Jiangxi Soviet, Mao's base, can't hold. Leadership makes a desperate decision. Evacuate. Preserve the army. Fight another day. The Long March begins. October 1934. 86,000 communists break through the encirclement. Men, women, even children. They march west, then north. Pursuing nationalist armies chase relentlessly. Battles rage constantly. Snowy mountain passes, deadly swamps, hostile ethnic minorities, starvation, disease, death everywhere. Did you know? They crossed 6,000 miles, on foot, through China's worst terrain. Imagine walking from New York to Los Angeles, twice, while being shot at, in 370 days. Only 8,000 reach Xi'an in Shaanxi province. Less than 10% survive. But they survive. That's what matters. The Long March becomes legend. The foundational myth of Chinese communism. Tales of heroism, sacrifice, survival against impossible odds. And Mao, he emerges as supreme leader, outmaneuvers rivals, consolidates power. The Communist Party is now his party. Moscow's influence fades. Chinese communism becomes Maoism. Xi'an Incident, December 1936. The kidnapping that changed history. Chiang flies to Xi'an, ancient capital, meets young Marshal Zhang, discusses the next anti-communist campaign. But Zhang has other plans. He's furious. 5 years since Japan stole his homeland. Manchuria, Chiang still refuses to fight Japan, still obsesses over communists. Zhang's patience ends. December 12th. Armed soldiers storm Chiang's quarters. Gunfire. Chaos. Chiang escapes in his nightshirt, climbs a wall, hides in a cave, captured hours later. The young marshal has kidnapped China's leader, demands, stop the civil war, unite against Japan, or else. Zhou Enlai arrives, communist negotiator, brilliant tactician. Chiang's mortal enemy sits across the table. For 2 weeks they negotiate. Tensions sky high. Chiang could be executed. But Stalin intervenes from Moscow, orders communists, keep Chiang alive. China needs him against Japan. Pragmatic, ruthless, very Stalin. Chiang agrees. Second United Front formed. Civil war paused. United against Japan. Chiang returns to Nanjing. Heroes welcome. But Zhang, placed under house arrest, spends next 50 years imprisoned, betrayed by the man he saved. Dies at age 100 in 2001. Never saw Manchuria again. Sino-Japanese War. July 1937. The conflict that defines modern China. Marco Polo Bridge. July 7th. Near Beijing, Japanese troops demand entry to search for missing soldier. Chinese garrison refuses. Shots fired. Skirmish escalates. Japan invades full-scale. Modern military machine versus fragmented Chinese forces. Outcome predictable. Brutal. Beijing falls fast. Ancient temples bombed. Citizens flee. Japanese troops enter triumphantly. Next, Shanghai, China's greatest city. 3 months of hell. Urban combat. House-to-house fighting. Chinese resistance fierce, but futile. Japanese tanks. Aircraft. Artillery. Overwhelmed defenders. City reduced to rubble. 500,000 casualties. Shanghai burns. Then, Nanjing, December 1937. Chinese capital. Chiang evacuates government to Chongqing. Leaves civilians behind. Japanese army enters. What follows? Worst atrocity since Genghis Khan. Nanjing Massacre. 6 weeks of horror. Japanese soldiers rampage. Mass executions. Rape. Looting. Bodies pile in streets. Yangtze River choked with corpses. Estimates: 200,000 to 300,000 dead. Tens of thousands raped. Western observers document everything. But world does nothing. China bleeds alone. But China doesn't surrender. Never surrenders. Government operates from Chongqing. Mountain city. Bomb-proof. Nationalists fight conventional battles. Lose terribly. Bleed white. Best divisions destroyed. But they fight on. 8 years. Communists? Guerrilla warfare. Behind enemy lines. Win peasant support through land reform. Build strength while nationalists die. Did you know? 14 million Chinese civilians died. Some estimates double that. More than all of Europe in World War I. China's sacrifice bought time. Pinned down Japanese armies. Prevented attacks on Soviet Union. Allied victory depended on China. But who remembers? August 1945. Japan surrenders. Atomic bombs. Soviet invasion of Manchuria. War ends. Peace. Not in China,